Like, I don't. Just be glad you're not there, Grandpa Barney. Chakuseki, H Dog. Can you talk about ball lightning sprites plasma from lightning by putting grapes in a microwave? Thanks. I didn't know you could put grapes in a microwave and generate St. Elmo's fire. So, ball lightning is a sustained fourth state of matter. Known as St. Elmo's fire, known as plasma balls. Essentially, you superheat, usually through electricity, superheat a part of air, and the air ionizes, so the electrons get blasted off of the molecules in the air, and so you have this negatively charged ball of plasma, and it's super hot. And we call plasma the fourth stage of matter because you have solid, you have liquid, you have gas. You ionize that gas, you get plasma. That's the fourth state. And all has to do with the amount of energy in that material to begin with, right? Not very much energy, solid. More energy, liquid. A lot of energy, gas. Way too much energy, you ionize it and you turn it into a plasma. I've never seen a plasma ball personally, like outside of the laboratory. Like I've never seen like a lightning storm where plasma balls are floating around. I've seen videos of them, and they are freaky as heck. I can imagine if you are some sort of primitive human who doesn't know anything about science or electricity, seeing one float through your town and like discharge into somebody, and they just completely just evaporate into the atmosphere. Get yourself some spontaneous human combustion. I would think that's something biblical, something magical, something completely, unexplainable, just demonry at work. Absolutely freaky deaky, man, for sure. So you can make them by putting grapes in a microwave. I'm gonna type that into the old Google. Plasma grapes in microwave. Well, that's a Google search people do a lot. Okay, wait a minute. Let's just gonna turn you off. I'm gonna clickety clack there. Go like that. Go grapes in microwave. Done. Okay. Let's see what happens. Oh, I gotta wait for an ad for someone else's YouTube video. There's gonna be no sound so that YouTube doesn't dock me. More ads. Just, we can do. We can just go like that for now. And then you guys don't sit through the ads. And I'll just talk aimlessly while, boom. Okay. That's an 8-minute video? Oh, man. Just put the grape in the goddamn microwave, buddy. All right. Okay, so it's 2 grapes. Get a bunch of energy put into them. And you have to have 2 of them to get a charge going between the 2 of them. All right. Dude, stop it. Okay. Let's get to where it actually turns into a plasma ball. So it's making plasma, but it's not necessarily a plasma ball at that stage. Well, I don't know. All right, well, that's not that exciting. But anyway, one story I know of someone who experienced one was on a nuclear submarine. This was like an enlisted midshipman, and he was talking about the engineer had forgotten to check the reactor on the microwave on the nuclear submarine, and there's these things called tags, and you're supposed to like pull the tag and replace it with another one when you've done your inspection, and the guy forgot to do the inspection, and thus like pocketed the tag. Did something with it wasn't. It made it look like he had done the inspection. He hadn't done the inspection, and the generator on the nuclear reactor overpowered, shorted out the system and shot a plasma ball like down the hallway of the nuclear submarine, and everyone was running for their lives, trying not to touch anything metal because this thing, if it discharges like, like 1,000,000,000 watts and 1,000 amps into whatever it's going to discharge into, and burn you alive. So everyone was running for their lives from this thing, trying to like not touch the walls of the submarine because when it discharges, it's going to bronk and you might get electrocuted as well. Anyone can't take a shower. Like this thing's just floating, like passing through walls and things like that. And finally it hit the wall, hit like the bulkhead of the submarine and discharged and like blew out a bunch of lights and everything. The submarine's underway. It's 3 months out to sea or whatever, and destroyed all his systems. And so this dude who pocketed the tags ended up getting court-martialed and sent to like Leavenworth or something for putting the lives of 600 submariners in jeopardy for not checking the nuclear power plant correctly on the submarine. But that's the only person I know who's seen one, and it was, I guess, to them one of the most terrifying experiences of their life. So if you see a giant Sprite floating around that's like crackling and it's really hot, don't reach out and touch it, because you will cease to exist at that point forward. It'll just be like a pair of shoes on the ground and that'll be it. Okay. Miss Missy, my Grammy was scared to death of lightning. As a teen, it struck the front door, floated through 2 rooms, burned a hole in the screen, and incinerated a huge tree. She make us sit and haul during storms. That would do it. So my icebreaker for my students is, what's your name, where you're from, what's your major, and what's your favorite scar? And then everyone goes around and tells a scar story. I want to say everyone, because some people, don't have scars. Some people might have a scar that's like way too traumatic to talk about, so I won't make them talk about it. But everyone who wants to talk about a scar story, they're welcome to. And in every classroom, you get 25 students, you got 5 people that should be dead, right? That they have survived something completely heinous, and they should be dead, but somehow they're survived. And I've had 2 over the years that were struck by lightning. One guy was struck by lightning and woke up like days later in the hospital. Another dude was struck by lightning, and it had, I guess, passed from his earring to his belly button ring and to the ground. So like it hit him, but like discharged via the metal on his body. And only got like slight burns in his ear and his belly button. The one that got hit had like gnarly burns in his feet and had to like do all sorts of rehab and like lost memories and stuff. But it always reminds me of, there's a video, I think it's from Australia, where there's a guy walking down this path and there's like, CCTV footage. He's walking down the path and kablam, the screen goes white and he's like on the ground. And he gets up and he's like, oh, and starts like stumbling like a drunk person, but he's really just been hit by lightning. And he makes it about 40 feet and then blam, gets hit again. Twice. And then gets up a second time and starts wandering away. I'm sure this dude's brain was just completely erased. He just reformatted. It's now a FAT16 format or something, and no longer NFT. Can you imagine that? Get hit by lightning twice and surviving? Holy smokes. But yeah, lightning's terrifying. I remember I was 5 years old playing in my first T-ball season. It was a yellow grasshopper was our team. We were the Grasshoppers. And we had a practice out in the T-ball field during a lightning storm. And the coaches just thought it was hilarious that the kids running around the lightning, swinging around aluminum baseball bats as like the tallest things in a field. And I look back on it with my scientific knowledge now, and I think those dads are the worst parents in the entire world. I'm so surprised that none of those children got completely zapped out of existence by swinging around their aluminum baseball bats above their head in a field during a lightning storm. But again, we don't get very many of them here in Seattle. Yeah.